Welcome to On the Air with Gloria Haas, the Interdimensional Intuitive, and thank you for being here. Before we get started, I would like to thank our sponsors.
You wake up, heart pounding, drenched in sweat. A feeling of the strange blankets you in dread. A figure stands beside you and vanishes before you can make it out. It's 3:43 a.m. again. Why does this keep happening to me? Follow as long as I, Tim Caney, share my experiences with the strange and paranormal in my first book and memoir, 3:43 a.m. Awakenings of an Experiencer, available on Kindle and Amazon today.
Please check out the affiliate links in the description. The views and opinions expressed in this show or comments on this channel are those of the guests, sponsors, or authors, and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this show or channel's broadcaster. All information, content, and material of this show or channel is for informational and entertainment purposes only and are not intended to serve as a substitute for consultation, diagnosis, and/or medical treatment of a qualified physician or healthcare provider. Also, the content is not intended to be treated as legal advice, nor is any attorney-client relationship created therein. All material in this show, video or audio, is the intellectual property of Gloria Haas. Books, images, or other suggested media is used by permission or endorsement through Gloria Haas by the guests, speakers, or sponsors of the show. This video and audio were produced in its whole by Gloria Haas and is intellectual property of her. Any unauthorized use, partial or as a whole, is strictly prohibited. I am here at the Scottish Rites Masonic Temple, and I am on the sidewalk. It's a public easement. I will not be on their property, so I will not be trespassing as I film this video. I will have my spirit talker on and the ghost tube Vox, and we'll see what happens here outside the temple. I let them know that I would be here this morning, and they were welcome to come out. I'm here. Does anyone have anything they want to say? Elijah's here. Elijah said gas. No, I don't have gas. Do you?
Stop.
I'm going to set this here. You can probably hear the birds singing. Yes, you know my last name is Haas, or Haas. So the spirit does know me. That one I hear at home sounds like a frog.
What do you like?
What do I like? Different things. Well, they've upgraded the parking lot, but I can't show you. Is that toilet? No, I don't see one. There are not any public toilets in this area. Walking across the front, and I've noticed they've upgraded, like I said, their parking lot. Shade for someone, for the research library. I'm going to turn Box off and turn on Seer and see if there are any spirits ready to materialize. Oh, they told me don't antagonize, and the Rosemary's here. I'm not planning on antagonizing. I don't know if you're telling them not to antagonize me. That's not my plan. Well, there is someone here. There is something here. And I don't know what this means. I'll have to. Because I have the That's probably what they're telling me. Oh, good morning. I'm filming for my podcast. What, Mike?
Towards the Cooper escape.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they lit it on fire.
You have pains in your chest? Well, I'm so sorry. It sounds like you died of a cardiac event that had to be painful. Well, there is someone here. There is something here. And I don't know what this means. I'll have to... they're by the side of the building. That's probably what they're telling me. Is there anyone else here who wants to show up? I'm out front, turned around and came back to the front of the Masonic building, Masonic Temple. Horse. Did you used to own horses? That's entirely possible. I heard on the previous video that I turned around and one showed horses. I wonder if he owned horses. Or if that's how they originally arrived here at the temple, because it is a historic landmark. And they started here in looks like 83. So that was before vehicles, before cars. So they either came on foot or on horseback. any spirits on this side who would like to come forward? I'm on the other side of the building. And I will probably turn Vox back on. I will turn Vox back on. Okay, here we go. Turn Spirit Talker back on because I hadn't realized that I shut it off.
Mode 20. And
Star.
Star. Hi, Star. I wonder if she's referring to the Masonic symbol as a star.
and also
Or if her name is Star.
back on the
Infernal.
toilet.
These are who make. They're making all the noise and they're in here. This is where their nest apparently is. Well, the Star says this place is infernal.
Parents stop.
I'm going to turn Spirit Talker off.
Fighting.
I'll stay here for about another minute to see where he is headed. Did you? The case of my Wi-Fi phone broke. So glad my regular phone didn't. I think I'm going to call this a day because it's getting a little unsafe for me to be here because of that homeless man. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and it's time to head away from here. I'm back safely at home. I went the long way around and the homeless man was not there. I had seen another woman who was also intimidated by him, and he kept following me back and forth. And she said when she was out where she was staying last night, he kept walking back and forth past her. So she ended up cutting her time short and went back inside. It's all about safety. He may have been harmless. He was over 6 feet tall, I would say between 6 feet and 6'5". And I don't want to take my chances. And I hope he does well and hope he gets off the streets soon. We're always looking for scary stories. So please send us your ghost stories to be read on the show at gloriahass5@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. On March 19th, I was laying here on my love seat, and it was around 2:15 in the afternoon, and I dozed off. Well, after I was just into that sleep, I heard a bell ring. And I thought it was for my phone that someone sent a message, and I didn't put it on Do Not Disturb, which I usually do if I know I'm doing meditation or I'm going to take a nap. Well, I looked at my phone. There was nothing there. So I dozed back off. A few minutes later, I heard 2 bells ring. So I looked at my phone again, and nothing. So I turned on EVP meter, and messages started coming through. And around 2:13, what came through was the word involved. Then my child. I'm thinking, okay, I'm asking, what was your child involved in? And then at 2:14, the word took. And then right after that, the word barrel. And I'm thinking, okay, what is this going on? I asked, who is this? And the name Harry came up. And I went ahead and I'm thinking, barrel, Harry. And then I asked the rods a question. Now, you know, this is my right hand, this is my left hand. Right is yes, left is no. Was Harry the spirit of someone I knew back 40 years ago? Yes. Was the first initial of his last name an L? Yes. Was this Harry Sr. who came through? Yes. Was he talking about his son Harry Jr., who took the barrel? Yes. I remember when I met the family, excuse me, it was through my first husband and I were married at the time, and it was around Christmas time, and she wanted to come over and wish her son a Merry Christmas, and she brought Harry Jr. with her, her date. This man was like 6'6" to 6'8". He was tall. And we met, and she gave her, you know, my stepson, her son, his Christmas gift, and we were having a little get-together with my mother-in-law, and we just sat and we talked. We invited them to sit down, and then they left. Well, a few months later, my husband and I separated. We had already been talking about this for a month, and it was going to come about after the new year. And I was working part-time in a photo booth, and I was able to transfer to a place closer that was right next to the apartments I had moved into. So I could walk to work, especially in the winter when snow's on the ground. And yeah, one of the few kiosks that would be open because someone could get to work. So one day I was sitting there, and who pulled up to have his film developed? Harry Jr. And he said, I didn't know you worked here. I said, well, I just transferred here. And I hadn't even paid attention to, his last name and stuff. And he did also have some pictures to pick up. And I was new to the booth. So I went ahead and took his information. He paid for his other film, and he left. And a little while later, he came back and said, my mother is looking for someone to help clean her house. And I could do that when I get off work. And it was a paid position. So over the course of the time, during the separation and everything, I got to know Harry's father and mother, and they were wonderful people. And this was her first marriage and his second. And he had children from a previous marriage. They owned their own company. And I know there's no statute of limitations on murder, but it was called accidental. But at the time, Harry and I, Junior and I would also talk, and when he was gone, his father and mother said, you could do better than him. While we love you, you could do much better than him. And I remember a couple of times they called and said, you can't come and clean. And I'd go like 2 to 3 times a week because we have to go to court. And long story short, Harry Jr. was involved with an argument with an employee, and it included a barrel. And I don't know all the details, but all three, Harry Sr., Harry Jr., and Harry Sr.'s wife are now deceased. Was this an oil barrel that was used by Harry Jr.? You don't know. Maybe. Okay. Was there a body stuffed into the barrel? No. Was there a body? No, there was no body stuffed into a barrel. Was a barrel involved in the accident or the fight? Yes. Did Harry Jr. hide someone behind the barrel? Did he hit someone with the barrel? Did Harry Jr. hit someone with a barrel? Yes. When the person was hit, was he killed? Yes. So long story short, it was considered accidental. And I didn't know anything about the court case until March 19th. Well, I mean, the findings of what was involved in the court case until March 19th. So I thought it was interesting after all these years, 40 some odd years later, that Harry Sr. came to me to let me know what happened with his son. What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear from you. I saw a light coming from my computer screen, and my computer is off. So I brought this up, and there's a bird, a cardinal. So that is symbolic of something, and I'm going to look up what it's symbolic of. Positive sign, and it's often interpreted as a message from a loved one who has passed away, signifying their presence, love, and support, or a symbol of hope, renewal, and positive life changes coming your way.
I like the toys.
Thank you. It's January 14th, and it's 5:07 in the morning. And Joanna Stone came through, and she's the first one who has ever given me a last name. And there were 2 Joanna Stones that I have seen so far who passed away in 2024. One is in Iowa, and one is from Portland. And something about doctor and black eyes. And she said she died. And does anybody know of a Joanna Stone from Portland or Iowa who had black eyes? Or maybe she was given black eyes, or gave the doctor a black eye, or she was the doctor?
I respect you.
Thank you. It's February 8th, about 1:44 in the afternoon. I haven't experienced this in a while. There would be puddles of water all over my apartment, and there's no leak in the ceiling. And it's really, I found it to be really strange. Start over. It's February 8th, and it's 1:44 in the afternoon. I haven't had a puddle of water on my floor in quite some time. And when it first started happening, I posted on X that I was having really mysterious water puddles. And one of the women who lives in the UK said this happened to her family in their house. So whatever the spirits are doing, or, I guess it's like, hey, we're still here. They're communicating, and they leave puddles of water on the floor. Have any of you experienced that? Drop a note in the comments section if you have. This is January 14th at 5:14 in the morning. And something interesting came in. Alexander said they hung me and told me his last name was West. He said it was a mistake. Well, on April 8th, 2014, there is a Shamar Alexander West, age 35, of Fort Smith, was jailed
Go over
on
there.
was jailed on a rape charge, and his death was asphyxia by hanging, and the manner of death was suicide. I'm wondering if he truly hung himself or somebody assisted with Alexander saying, "They hung me." Meditation. That's exactly right. 6 o'clock is my meditation time. Paranormal Brands. I'm a nano influencer. Email me to collaborate on promos.